In the silent dark of the cosmos, 4.5 billion years ago, a new world was being forged in violence. Gravity, the great sculptor, pulled together a maelstrom of dust, rock, and ice, creating not a tranquil sphere, but a raging ball of molten slag. This was the Hadean Earth, a world under constant siege from the debris of a young and chaotic solar system. For hundreds of millions of years, this was the norm, an era of relentless bombardment, where impacts, powerful enough to vaporize oceans, gouged the surface. But the greatest violence came from within. The planet's own internal furnace raged, bursting through the thin, unstable crust in a constant volcanic fury. Rivers of fire carved continents from a sea of incandescent rock, while the sky, choked with sulfur and carbon dioxide, was torn by volcanic lightning, an atmosphere toxic to any life we would recognize.
And then, a new element entered the fray: water. Delivered by countless icy comets and vented from the planet's core as superheated steam, it began a war with the fire. A world-spanning hiss echoed as the first rains, a scalding, acidic downpour that lasted for millennia, fell upon the molten rock. It was a battle of epic proportions. Steam erupting as lava met the nascent seas, slowly, agonizingly forging the first solid crust upon a world that knew no peace. Beneath the waves and across the scarred lands, the Earth was a vast chemical laboratory. Geothermal vents, the planet's arteries, spewed a rich brew of minerals and chemicals from the mantle. In these bubbling, sulfurous pools, under a sky still thick with haze and strange auroras, the complex dance of chemistry began. The very building blocks of life were being assembled in this toxic yet fertile primordial soup. Slowly, over eons, the heaviest bombardment subsided. The planet began to find a rhythm. The crust thickened. The volcanoes, while still immense, became features of the landscape rather than the landscape itself. The oceans deepened, and the sky began a long, slow journey toward clarity. A stark, yet strangely beautiful world of black rock, glowing lava, and turbulent seas took shape under a faint young sun. This was the world before history, a planet of unimaginable extremes, sculpted by forces we can barely comprehend. Every crater, every mountain, every ocean was a scar from its violent birth. Yet within this inferno, the conditions were being perfected. The chaos had forged a cradle. The fire and the water had set the stage. The planet was now ready, waiting for the first miraculous spark of life.